The storm raged outside the towering skyscraper, rain lashing the glass like tears from the heavens. Elena Ramirez paused in the doorway of Alexander Grant's sleek office, her hands shaking on the polished tray of evening tea. For 4 years, she'd been his quiet housekeeper in this Chicago penthouse, blending into the shadows of his billionaire world. But tonight, those shadows cracked open. "Sir," she said softly, her voice cutting through the thunder, "your mother, she's alive. I saw her today at Willow Creek Asylum." Alexander's hand froze over his contract, the city lights flickering in his eyes like distant memories. The air grew heavy, as if the world held its breath. Alexander Grant was a man forged in fire. At 38, he'd built Grant Global from his late father's crumbling empire into a powerhouse of tech and real estate. Tall, with sharp features and eyes like polished steel, he moved through life with the precision of a man who'd lost everything young. Everyone knew the story. Elena Grant, beloved artist and community pillar, gone in a house fire 16 years ago when Alexander was just 22. He'd scattered her ashes himself, vowing never to break again. That grief had armored him, deals closed without mercy, no room for weakness. Elena, in her mid-50s, with warm hazel eyes and silver threads in her dark hair tied in a neat braid, had always been more than staff. She'd come to the Grants as a young maid 2 decades back, during Elena Grant's famous charity art shows. Mrs. Grant had noticed her then, a single mom scraping by, daughter battling illness. "Kindness finds its way back," Mrs. Grant had said once, slipping money for treatments. Now, standing here, Elena felt that echo return. I volunteer at Willow Creek on weekends," Elena continued, stepping closer as lightning flashed, "bringing art supplies to the quiet wing. Today, in room 184, under the name Evelyn Gray, admitted July 2010, it was her. Older, fragile, but those eyes, your eyes, sir. She looked right at me and whispered, 'Tell my boy I'm waiting.' A nurse pulled me away, said restricted area. But, sir, the timing, right before the fire." Alexander rose slowly, his chair whispering against the hardwood. "My mother burned in our family home. I identified what was left. You're wrong." His voice was calm, but Elena saw the crack, the boy beneath the titan. "I pray I am," Elena replied, eyes glistening. "But I worked those summers. She taught me to paint, remembered my Sophia's fevers. A light like hers doesn't fade. And that admission date, your father was away on business then. Arguments echoed through the halls." He turned to the window, rain blurring the skyline. His father, Victor Grant, gone 5 years from a stroke, had spun the tale of tragedy. Private funeral, no questions. But now doubts stirred. Elena watched him pull out his tablet, fingers flying. "There," he murmured. "Elena's Legacy Fund, started July 2010. I thought charity, but payments to Willow Creek every month for 16 years. The room spun for him. If she lived, his father had buried them all in lies. "Why tell me?" he asked, voice raw. Elena's gaze held steady. If it was Sophia, lost somewhere, I'd want truth, no matter the cost." Alexander grabbed his coat. "We're going, now." Elena nodded, grabbing her scarf. "She might know me, and sir, you shouldn't face this alone." The drive north through the storm was silent, wipers thumping like a heartbeat. Willow Creek's gates loomed, old stone under floodlights. Alexander's grip whitened on the wheel. "What if she's gone inside?" "Then we bring her light back," Elena said gently. Security buzzed them in after his name dropped. Dr. Ellis, the director, met them, crisp suit, guarded eyes. "Mr. Grant, room 184 is private, trust-funded." "Take me there," Alexander demanded, "or my lawyers own this place by dawn." The hall smelled of antiseptic and forgotten hopes. At the door, a woman sat by the window, silver hair, posture still elegant despite the years. Alexander pushed in. She turned. Those eyes, his eyes, widened.
"My Alex," she breathed, voice frail but clear. "Mom?" He crumpled to his knees, arms around her as she wept. Elena's tears fell silently. Dr. Ellis shifted uncomfortably. They held each other, 16 years dissolving in sobs. "How?" Alexander finally whispered, cupping her face. Elena's voice trembled. "Your father, Victor, found out I knew his secrets, shady deals, laundering through my art fund. I confronted him. He broke me. Panic, despair. I checked in voluntarily, begged for help. He staged the fire, used a Jane Doe, said it freed me from the world that crushed me." Dr. Ellis cleared his throat. "Your father influenced care, convinced us you were unstable. The trust paid handsomely." Alexander's rage simmered. "You visited her grave, Alex?" Elena Grant said. "He made me watch from afar, said you'd shatter knowing I was broken." "Why stay after he died?" Alexander asked. "Fear," she admitted. "He left threats, papers implicating me in his crimes, prison. You'd hate me." "No," he vowed. "You're free tonight." Discharge paper signed amid the night hush. As they left, Elena Grant breathed deep. Air tastes like hope. Back at the penthouse, Elena Ramirez prepared tea. Alexander and his mother talked till dawn. Lost years, quiet pains. "You built beauty from ashes," she said of his empire. But morning brought shadows. A call, network breach, footage of their night stolen. Then the intercom. "Lawrence Hale, your father's counsel. Urgent." Hale entered, slick and silver-haired. "Mrs. Grant's return triggers protocols. Evidence of her fraud. Signatures, transfers. Return to Willow Creek or it goes to feds. Company crumbles." Alexander stood firm. "Fabricated lies." "Impeccable ones," Hale smirked. 24 hours. Gone. The room chilled. Elena Grant paled. "I'll go back." "No," Alexander said. "Dad taught me his games. We'll win ours." He called his team. Sophia, Elena Ramirez's daughter, now a nurse, arrived with her mom. "Aunt Elena was my godmother," Sophia said. "Mom told me stories. Grandma Reeves, her sister, left proof before cancer took her." A drive, recordings, docs exposing Hale and Victor's web, faked records, bribes. Alexander called Hale on speaker. "Patricia Reeves files, crimes on tape. Shred the fakes by noon, resign the bar, or it all goes public." Hale folded. At the office, documents shredded, resignation signed, names listed, culprits exposed quietly, careers ended. Weeks blurred into healing. Elena Grant moved to a Lakeview condo, painting again. Sophia and her bonded over healing arts. Alexander softened. Therapy, real connections. Wade Enterprises, now Grant Legacy, ethical, generous. 1 year on, family gathered. Elena Ramirez, Sophia, Grandma Reeves' daughter Clara, Elena Grant. "To the foundation," Alexander toasted. "Elena's light, art for mental health, freeing the wrongly held." Elena Grant smiled. "After my sister Pat." Laughter filled the penthouse. On the balcony, Alexander hugged Elena Ramirez. "You sparked this. Kindness from decades ago." "She sparked me first." Ripples return. At Victor's grave, Elena Grant laid flowers. "I forgive for me. You chose love anyway, Alex." The foundation bloomed, families reunited, truths unearthed. Alexander found peace, walls down, love, real and fierce.
Sometimes a whisper of truth mends what empires can't. Share if it stirred your soul today.